Good day. I am the Crimson Jester, and welcome to my foyer. Please come in, sit down, and get comfortable, and allow me to assist in alleviating the boredom which has brought you to me this fine day. For today, we will be discussing what if Izuku Midoriya was bonded with toxin. Part 3. Where we last left off, All Might was carrying Izuku straight to UA after being assisted by this strange young man. Come on, kid, stay with me. As he dashes from building to building in extreme speeds before landing in a very thunderous and a little bit of an over the top fashion in front of the UA gates. Upon sliding his credentials, the doors and barriers easily drop, allowing him to run in at full speed. Straight, to the nurse's office. As he slams the doors wide open and brings him in. Chisune, where are you? Calm down, you big oaf. Ow, why are you interrupting me on today? There aren't even any schools. What happened? Please, just help him. I don't know what happened. Well, I kind of know what happened. It's hard to explain. Just please help him. Let me breathe, and I'll be able to tell you more. All right, but you owe me a big explanation, Toshi. Thank you. As he gets him hooked up to the beds, and recovery girl starts giving him an IV drip and goes over what seems to be wrong with him. The little chimera-like animal, along with Aizawa, come into the room. So, this is who you were telling me about over the phone, eh? Nezu. Yeah. It's it's a long story, but this kid, he did something massively reckless. I don't know how better to describe it, but he healed me. As everyone there instantly gains a face of, complete and total shock. When Recovery Girl pipes up, I'm sorry, what did you say? As All Might lifts up his shirt, revealing a fully scar free and completely intact body. He healed me. And I'm not just talking from the physical scarring. I have my lung back. And for the first time in a few years, I actually can feel my stomach growl. So, yeah. As Izawa instantly looks over at the kid and then straight back at All Might, he was able to heal you better than Recovery Girl's quirk. Yes. As Nezu just gains a very big smile on his face. That is before the group notices a red tendril beginning to seep out of the boy's forearm and going into his bag. When Shizune is about to, well, question and possibly whack it, and Aizawa is utilizing his quirk to try and put less strain on the boy's body because he figures his quirk's going out of control in his unconscious state, and then questioning how come his quirk isn't working on on the boy. That's whenever Nezu and All Might notice it's getting out a pencil and notepad. And it opens it up and starts writing. As Aizawa and All Might just kind of take a double take, look at each other, and then back at what is currently going on. As when everything is said and done, and it stops writing, it basically just folds open the notebook and passes it to All Might, and then retreats back inside of Izuku. Well, what does it say, Toshi? Let's see here. I am called Toxin. I am Izuku's quirk. I am sapient, as you well know. Whenever we healed you back on the rooftop, he agreed to do so at whatever cost. I didn't tell him what the cost would be, knowing that he would survive it. But I did warn him it would be painful. The reason I didn't tell him was because if I told him, well, he is a terrible liar, and he would have informed you. And if he would have informed you, you would not have accepted the help if you're half the hero as he says you are. Huh? You put him in danger? He is in no danger currently. His life is perfectly fine. He is just currently going through malnutrition due to utilizing his muscles and fats to help reconstruct your internal organs due to you not having virtually any on you upon time of healing. The way I heal is by utilizing a person's internals to help increase their regeneration factor, as well as altering it to help things regrow. Whoa. The best thing you could do for him currently is to bring us 10 pounds of meat and about 4 pounds worth of simple sugars. Doing that, I should be able to consume and allow it to restore his body to at least a more appropriate, well, weight gain and such. He will not be in a coma permanently. In fact, if anything, he should be awake within the next 2 hours, give or take. Also, please contact Mama. She's probably already worried sick, considering the fact that we were supposed to be home about 30 minutes ago. Please and thank you, sincerely, Toxin. Aizawa starts blinking kind of questioningly. Recovery Girl is just rubbing her head in a somewhat aggravated fashion, and Nezu is grinning ear to ear. My. This is quite fascinating. A sapient quirk that can heal others. I think this young man has a great potential. You don't know the half of it. Oh? How so? I'll tell you more later in private. But let's just put it this way. I know a lot more about this young man's life than I should. I see. Interesting. As, well, All Might proceeds to walk out and go to lunch rush, telling him about at least a little bit about the situation and asking if he could assist. Lunch rush happily agreeing and starts making a plethora of very tasty, somewhat high dense meat dishes. And, well, some simple desserts that are high in sugar content. As he comes back, he realizes that, well, the young man's awake and is currently talking with Aizawa and Nezu. Alright, kid. We're not upset with you in the slightest. We're just trying to figure out what happened. Is All Might okay? Yes, kid, All Might's fine. But the real question is, are you okay? You seem to have, well, gone from whatever you were in weight to this real quickly. To anyone else, that would have been quite the shocking experience, especially considering, according to what your quirk wrote down, you weren't even kept in on the loop of what would happen. True, but I trust Toxin. He wouldn't do anything to hurt me. At least not without checking with me first. He warned me what would happen. In a way. As All Might comes into the room, pardon me one moment, bringing forth a, well, plethora of food. But instead of Izuku chowing down, a mass of tendrils launch out, wrap around the food, and, well, a few sickening crunches later, develop it straight into the body of Izuku Midoriya, whereas then processed at a high, high rate of speed and distributed throughout his body, beginning to make his somewhat skeletal-esque features more, well, akin to what a standard 17-year-old person would look like. As Aizawa just sits there and goes, oh boy. Well, at least he wasn't lying about that. I told you. Toxin will always try and take care of me. He's the best brother a guy could ask for. Right. Aizawa, a bit reluctantly, but knowing that he isn't going to get much further with the kid, considering circumstances being what they are, decides to say, I'm going to take care of my class. You try talking with him. Just be careful, you big oaf. Right. As he walks out and carries on with his duties of, well, going to go sleep in his classroom, Nezu climbs up on All Might's shoulder as well as just, well, looking very eager and pleased. So, tell me, young man, what on earth would make you want to heal All Might for such a, when you realized it could cause such pain? All Might's All Might. If he was in this much pain for that long a period of time, then it only makes sense that someone try and help him. If I could do something and didn't, well, that would go against everything I know and believe in. I see. I think you found a good one there, wouldn't you say, Toshi? You have no idea. So, I have to ask, when we were in that situation, did you happen to see what I saw, or did you see something different? At this, Nezu and Recovery Girl instantly perk up like, what? What do you mean, see? Izuku goes, I, relax, young Midoriya. They know about One for All, and they know plenty. Well, they also know about me. I I didn't see a lot, but I saw your time in America. What? I saw about the time you spent in America while we were bonded. I don't know why it was like that. Don't know why we saw things like that, but or I saw it like that. What did you see? I saw your life, Izuku Midoriya. My life? That's right. From a young man of 3 years old, a child of 3 years old, to when you were 4 and you were diagnosed quirkless. At this, Nezu and Recovery Girl instantly perk up. Yet again. Relax. I'm not going to judge you. I saw what you went through. I saw images of the pain, the suffering, and the abuse borderlining on torture you experienced for 15 years. So tell me something, young man. Yes? Was that true? Did what I see actually happen? At this point, well, Toxin decides to not overtake, but come out and wrap around Izuku's body. What you saw actually did happen, yes. As Nezu and Recovery Girl are yet again surprised but intrigued. I see. And how do I know it's not fabrication? Izuku would never fabricate anything of that sort. And I don't think I have the ability to fabricate my host's memories in such a manner. Nor would I have a reason to. Then why show them to me at all? It wasn't by design. I initially tried keeping both of you separated on that level. And what changed? You caused this. Excuse me? Well, not you per se. Your power. My power? Yes. Your quirk. Or whatever it was. Tried sending an abnormal amount of energy into our body. I had to focus on trying to keep it out, rerouting and blocking it from entering our system due to how unknown it was. It tried jumping over into us. I did not know what it was, so I had to focus on trying to keep it out while trying to fix your body, while trying to make sure Izuku didn't die while fixing you too much. while trying to do everything else in my power to make sure the process was seamless and painless as possible. So you'll have to forgive me if I was unable to keep up mental barriers. So you're telling me that, yes, if it wasn't for your power trying to auto attack us, then 9 out of 10 we would never have seen or shared memories in that manner with you. Interesting. You mentioned one for all. What is that? Then you say he saw my memories. We saw many things, but nothing including, but only ever catching glimpses and tales of one for all. We saw your time in America, but we could not grasp it entirely. Not to mention, he was mostly focused on watching you combat evil. So, being the fanboy he is, yes, he hasn't gone through all of them with a fine-toothed comb yet, as you would say. You said host. Yes. You're right, Nezu. He is not Izuku Midoriya's quirk. Oh? No. Have you ever heard of Venom? Why, yes, the American villain, correct? Former villain. Currently, the new Venom is an underground hero. New Venom? Venom is, well, you're going to find this hard to believe, an alien. Oh? And why haven't you ever told me this? Because I decided to leave what happened in America over in America, for one. For two, would you really believe me if I started talking about how aliens exist? And, well, of course. Back on topic. And three, well, let's just put it this way, me and Venom didn't have the most kindest of history. We called Venom species, well, at first we called them parasites, but later we changed that to symbiotes. When David and Peter started looking into them further. When they bond with their host, they can grant them several different things. Increase strength, speed, regeneration, as well as a few certain abilities that vary from symbiote to symbiote. Uh-huh. From what I saw with you, young Midoriya. You found the symbiote egg on the beach. And from there, Toxin was born. As Toxin goes back into side of Izuku, Yeah. To be fair, us finding each other was, well, pure happenstance. But it was, thinking about it, it's one of the best days of my life. All I ever wanted was for someone to say that I could be a hero. But no matter where I turned to, I kept being rejected. Toxin was the first one to believe in me, the first one to actually acknowledge me. I can understand that. As, well, Toshi puts an arm on his shoulder. Rest assured, I will not let anything come to harm from either you or Toxin. It's the least I can do. Now, why don't you give me your information so I can see about bringing your mother here after we come up with a decent excuse as to why you are here. What do you mean? Well, we can't very well say that you healed an injury of mine to her directly, because, to be fair, that injury was on a national security level. Not to mention, well, I'm assuming outside of the people here, you want to keep a tight lip on what exactly happened. So, what do you say we chalk it up to the sludge villain knocking you unconscious and me bringing you here? Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Meanwhile, you stay here and rest up. And Nezu and Recovery Girl will, well, Recovery Girl will most likely make sure you're nice, stable, and fit to go anywhere after you leave. And Nezu, well, Nezu's more than likely going to try and pick your brain. Good luck with that. Thank you. No worries, young man. Please, get some rest. As All Might heads over to the cafeteria, and for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, he asks if he could have a triple decker cheeseburger with extra fries and a milkshake. And as Lunch Rush prepares it and hands it out, that first bite was heavenly. I mean, after all, he lived 6 years with no stomach, forced to eat simple foods that could easily be processed in his system, forced to probably take a shite ton of pills and supplements that would probably make any, and I do mean any, drug addict blush? Why, yes. The poor guy finally gets to have a burger and fries as he is, well, he's tearing up. I swear. Oh, this is one of the best days of my damn life. As within a couple of minutes, he finishes all that off, downing the shake, fries, everything, transforming into All Might yet again, and taking off to, well, the Midoriya household. As he gives a polite knock on the door, as Inko immediately flings it open. Izuku, where have you? Oh, 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 my, my, my. Hello, I am here to, well, explain the situation. You see, young Midoriya is currently at UA, in the medical wing. What happened to my... Calm down, young ma'am. Pardon me. Calm down, young lady. Everything is fine. He is recovering. He is perfectly stable. He was just involved in a villain incident. A dastardly fiend attacked him with his back turned, and, well, ever since then, he has been. I just took it under myself after defeating the villain to bring him to UA and, well, have him rest there. Especially considering how unique his quirk is. What do you mean? Well, he seems to have a great quirk with great many applications for hero work. So, naturally, I brought him along with me there, in addition to, well, getting him healed up in one of the best facilities in Japan, to also see if I could snipe him for, well, towards UA. You want him to attend UA? Well, yes, especially after uncovering certain incidents. What do you mean? Tell me, madam, do you know how your son has been treated? What what are you talking about? His current school. It was by happenstance when he was unconscious, but I happened to notice during the physical examination he had some bruising on his body. he had he had bruising? What, didn't that come from the nomad? What he got from the villain attack was swift. He was attacked once on the head. It wouldn't account for the patterns of abuse along his chest, back, and, well, stomach region. At first, we had figured it was a case of home abuse, but that was quickly crossed off after talking with the young man. And now, even more so after talking with you. Which left his school. And after doing some research, it appears that, yes, the school that he has been going to has not been kind to him in the slightest. If you wish, we can discuss more about this on the way there. Uh, um, uh, yes, how are we going to? As well, he immediately just picks her up and shoots off towards UA. Calm down, everything will be fine. Just hold on tight. As well, they launch through the air, and upon landing back at UA grounds, proceed to go straight to the recovery wing. Well, the nurse's office slash recovery wing for certain advanced cases of foolishness from students. As soon as she slings open the doors and spots her precious little baby, Inko immediately wraps him in a big, big hug. Mom, chocolate, bread. Izuku, are you okay? She quickly gives him the pat down. What happened? Are you alright? Why do you seem so malnourished? A side effect from his quirk healing him. It turns out it takes quite a bit of his, well, stored fat to heal him from certain injuries. Toxin, is Toxin okay? Yeah, yes, Mom. He's fine. I'm fine too. And that's when she gets teary-eyed and says, "No, you're not." Huh? All Might told me you've been keeping things quiet about how Aldera's been treating you. Immediately turning to All Might, looking a bit betrayed. I'm sorry, young man, but as a hero, I cannot allow abuse to continue. Especially considering the sheer fact that I have an idea on how to fix it. Oh? I heard nothing about abuse from the young man. As Nezu perks up, we've just been talking about, well, quirk analysis, really. I must say, Miss Midoriya, your son is quite brilliant. But Toshi, you said abuse. Yes. As we mentioned before, he has the physical signs of abuse. However, upon further investigation, it appears that he's been going through it for many years over at Aldera. I have a way to compromise this. What do you mean? Simple. We'll be taking Izuku out of Aldera immediately. He's already finished up his final exam there. So there should be no reason for him to stay there any longer than he has already. But what will he do in the meantime? Simple, young Midoriya. I would like you to, how should I put this? If Mr. Nezu is fine with it, attend here as a way of catching you up. Catching him up? Catching me up? Oh. What are you implying? Simple. The teachers at Aldera are also a part of this. they allowed the abuse to go on, encouraging it whether subtly or outright blatantly in some regards. Obviously, I have no doubt in my mind that if those teachers did so, that they would have no problems in docking the quirkless kids' grades. So, in my opinion, it would be more honest to have him join up with us for I wouldn't say permanent until he passes the recommendation exams. Recommendation exams? Uh, yes. I'm going to recommend you to take the exams here, young Midoriya. But I couldn't. Young Midoriya. In the short amount of time you've had access to your quirk, you have shown great strides in learning how to handle it. Over these 10 months, you will not only be doing standard, well, mental preparation as well as studying, but we will also be giving you quirk control lessons as well as helping you to understand how your abilities work. But I couldn't. Young Midoriya, please understand. You have been downtrodden. You have been cast aside. And that is something I cannot allow. I cannot take back what has happened to you. But I can try and make it better. I was a late bloomer myself. I can tell how painful it is. And most importantly, I need you to know that you do need remedial studies to catch up with utilizing your quirk at the same level everyone else can. Please, young Midoriya, think about it. Hmm. I like the way you're thinking, Toshi. Most definitely. I would say we should have him. We should definitely try and get him. What? Huh? What do you mean? Well, young Midoriya, think about it. You are a bit of an anomaly. Someone who gained a quirk at such a late expectancy of life, mainly due to how powerful it is. In addition to that, you are able to have such great control over your quirk despite only having it for such a short period of time, mainly due to your own study. Meaning, if you were to have actually trained people and personnel teach you, well, you could make leaps and bounds towards mastering your abilities. In addition to that, well, given how smart you already are, this would give us a proper baseline on what you can actually do and what you would actually need help in doing. In other words, this is just as much for you as it is for us. But no buts, young man. All we're asking is that you think about it. Do you truly wish to go back to the place that, persecuted you for not having a quirk that looked down on you for your position? Or would you actually prefer coming here, getting proper training, and actually being able to achieve your dream at a much rapid rate? It won't be easy. We would never make it easy. But it'll be a lot more possible than trying to do it on your own. Indeed, young Midoriya. After all, it's the least we can do. Not to mention, I have great faith in you, and I do not wish to see you squandered upon such a terrible place. You're a diamond in the rough, and I have a feeling with a bit of effort, elbow grease, and grinding, you'll be able to shine brighter than any star. Upon hearing all this praise and all of this attention, he begins to tear up as toxin in his head goes, "You know, they're making a pretty good offer. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure your mom's going to talk about how I nearly ventilated Kotsky's skull cap. So we might want to take it, like before they rescind it." Right. Almost forgot about that. I'll take it. Glad to hear, young Midoriya. Nezu, would it be all right with you? Oh, but of course. After all, considering how smart he is already, I plan on putting him through the ringer. What do you mean, sir? Oh, well, simple. You should have seen some of his quirk analysis notebooks that he brought along with him. Quite interesting, quite interesting. Indeed. I think I should make him my own personal student. At that, All Might begins coughing reflexively because of, well, he was used to coughing whenever he got surprised. But now, instead of coughing up blood, he just, well, coughs. Sorry, what'd you say? Oh, simple. I plan on making him my personal student. What, sir? I don't think I can. Oh, young Midoriya, you have no idea how bright you are. But don't worry, I'll make sure you know about it before the 10 months is up. So believe in me, you will most definitely be welcomed here. And I'll take care of all the nitty-gritty paperwork. So nothing for you to worry about, Miss Midoriya. Oh, and right, we'll be needing to focus on getting you properly trained. All Might, you wouldn't mind taking care of that now, would you? Of course not. I will gladly help him. After all, considering everything that you are capable of, I find it very, well, hard placed not to try and assist you in whatever way I can. Oh, wow. Inko is, well, stunned by all this. Miss Midoriya, all that's left is for you to give your okay. Are you certain that everything you said about Aldera happened? Madam, if you truly wish to know everything that I found out about Aldera, I would say give me a week. A week to let me properly do an investigation. But let me tell you this. They are borderline villains with how they've treated your son. My my baby, madam, it isn't your fault. Izuku is a selfless young man. He tried his best to keep things away from you so you would not have to worry, considering everything you've been through. I only found out by happenstance. Your son was willing to sacrifice his own happiness in order to try and make sure you were happy yourself. Your son has amazing qualities of a hero. One of the reasons we'd like to take him under our wing. But you should not blame yourself for these matters. And young man, yes, you should know that trying to rely on others is not a crime. Letting people know that you're hurting is not a crime. Letting people know that you're being abused is not a crime. You have the right to try and be happy, whether you are quirkless or not. In fact, later on tonight, I will be doing a press conference. Inspired by you. But no buts, young man. You were not deserving of such treatment. The only thing I regret is that I haven't found you sooner. And with that, the Midoriya waterworks kick in, and that hidden quirk, Cry Me a River, begins to play out. As, well, All Might has to pick Nezu off the ground and place him on his shoulder, just to make sure he doesn't get washed away by accident. And with that, I'll be wrapping up this episode. This has been your humble host, the Crimson Jester, signing off for today. And thank you yet again, Dark Knight Silver, for all of your input. Bye-bye.